Evening, everyone. It's 5:40 on Monday, and this is your closing commentary, and it is video number 485. And frankly, I just don't have a clue what these people are thinking. I've listened to a half a dozen people get on CNBC and talk about how this is a buying opportunity, and nothing has changed, and I know that we're not going to get a stimulus in the short term, and after Biden wins and the market sells off, that would be the perfect buying opportunity. Do these people not listen to the news? Do these people not realize that the COVID numbers are dramatically higher and that stimulus is pretty much a dead issue in the short term? Uh, Honestly, I just can't believe it. So we finished down 650.19, down 2.29% in the Dow. The S&P was down 64.42 or 1.8. NASDAQ down 189 and change, 1.64. The Russell looked like it was going to be the big loser, but actually came in only third at down 35.29. 2.15%, and the biggest loser by just 0.03% were the Dow Jones Transports, down 275.31, 2.32%. The chart on the screen is the S&P, and I almost find it hard to believe, but we stayed within the bounds of this little flag that I drew over the weekend, and we closed only about 60% down on the range. That puts us right at the apex, actually under the 5-day and under the 20-day, and right around the 50-day, but down below that by a little bit, and the rest of it is still below us. So I'm not sure that we're not going to bounce here, but I still cannot imagine that with COVID causing all of the issues that it is, especially in Europe, with reinstitution of curfews and, you know, flights canceled. I just don't get that this is not a bigger issue. In any event, it was an issue for the airlines, and it was an issue for the cruise lines, and it was an issue for the travel sites. So here's what the oil looks like, and I'll remind you that the highest value product that comes out of oil refining is jet fuel, and clearly we're not using a whole lot of that. As you can see, I drew these arrows um, for the weekend for the market letters charts with comments. Was looking to, expecting this to come down, and today we came down at about $1.25, and clearly broke below these little bottoms here in the $39 area. We closed 38.56, which was pretty close to the low. I'm guessing tomorrow we'll try 37.5, 38. Gold was basically unchanged on the day. It was actually up 50 cents, which is kind of a rounding error on a $1,900 commodity. And as you can see, we are also in an area that is crucial. We have all of these lows. Today's low was 1892, which happened overnight. yesterday's low was 1895, and the day before's low was 1894. So as you can see, this is an important area. We go back a week or so and see a low of 1885, and the day before a close of 1894.60. So we are right about on the 100-day. Most of these are rolling over. I would hate to say it, but if we break this area and cannot hold 1850, I think we could get down into this 1820 area. So we have no position there. I definitely don't want to be shorted, but it may move lower. The dollar was up 28 basis points at 93.04. The bonds on the flight to safety were up a point. And Bitcoin, my favorite chart of late, closed at 10,345, and that was actually up $75 on the day. Let's just take a quick look at that so that I can show you. It's really hard not to love this chart. Because it is technically about as strong as it gets. And by that, I don't mean that it's going remarkably higher. It's just that the chart trades really true to most of the technical tenets for decision making. Here we hit the 100-day, spent 3 days there and started up, came back down, tested that area, hit that 100-day again, started up, couldn't get through the prior high, made a slightly higher low above that same 100-day, and then we took off. We formed a little flag here, and when we broke out, we moved literally from just under 12,000 to well over 13,000. So I think there's more to come there. But most of the news that wasn't COVID related, and actually I'm not sure that you could say that, was SAP, which is software. It's work from everywhere software. And this morning on their announcement that numbers were going to be noticeably weak. The stock had traded down to about 118 and change, which was down a little over 31. It continued during the day, and we actually closed 115.02, which was down 34.66 or 23%. That sent shivers down every single software company, even the best of the best. We are long Salesforce, which you would think would have some upside here. It was down about $12 at the low and finished down about $8. The calls were devastated, but I'm not sure that we're not going to see a bounce back up. So at this point, I'm thinking about adding, but instead of adding the 260s, I might go for the 250s since we're so much closer to it. Tomorrow we have durable goods, consumer confidence, NAHB housing price, and Case Shiller for August. Today's numbers from the housing market related to sales of new homes. They were surprisingly weaker than expected, but worse than that was the fact that they took last week's number of 1,011,000 and restated it at 994,000, and the current number, today's number, which was expected to be 1,022,000, was 959,000. So 2 misses there. Dunkin Brands, DNKN, private equity deal, it was trading around 105 this morning, which is about the expected price. It finished at 103.10, up 14.31. So a nice gain there. Airlines, cruise lines, just ridiculously lower. And, I just don't see an upside there at this point, just based on, again, the COVID numbers. People keep on thinking that this thing is done. It's clearly not. There's talk now that people can easily get it a second time, and that there is actually tissue damage reported on internal organs, which makes it very difficult to fight off, especially the second time. Anyway, as you can tell, I've spent a fair amount of time on the futures because I really think that we're going to see some more interesting action. I think that the gold is probably higher, the Bitcoin is probably higher, the dollar is always going to be a trade, and oil and the energy sector are lower. The reason I mention this is because this is a non-correlated asset, meaning that it really doesn't matter what is going on in the stock market for these things to be either up or down. Remember, these are things. This is not a company. Things don't go out of business. And I have lined up a very, very good commodity trader to help us out with trading futures. And if you have any interest, all you have to do is email me or direct message me on Discord, and I'll be happy to set up a conference call. All right, everyone. Like I said, it's video number 485, and if you like the work, please hit the subscribe button. I'll be back first thing in the morning.